Hi, I'm Lanni, and this is a Preserving Today podcast. Well, my friends, it's been a while since I've been on here. I haven't made any videos this summer. This is probably the third time I've tried to sit down and start a podcast episode that I could upload to the YouTube channel, and I don't know if this is going to be the one that I actually finish and put on there, but we're going to give it a try, and we're going to keep it short and sweet. I just want to say hi to all my regular viewers. Thank you for everybody who's been leaving comments on my videos, asking good questions, and sharing fun things like sending me pictures of your pickles to see if there's mold on top, or your sauerkraut in a beautiful crock with stones covering it to see if it's mold or comm yeast. It's one of my most common fan letters that I get is just pictures of mold, which is probably unusual for some, but not for me, and I find it endlessly interesting, and I'm always learning from you, so thank you. I've had lots of comments from people in other countries asking me where to get the fermentation spring that I used in a lot of videos, and I have a sad story, guys. I'm pretty sure Ball does not make that stainless steel fermentation spring and lid set anymore. I don't see it available on Walmart's website. I don't see it available on Amazon's website. Luckily, I bought like 5,000 of them because I was giving them out at fermentation workshops. So I have a whole bunch. So if you're really hurting for one of those, give me a call. I got a black market hookup for those. But I know there's another company that makes them, and I've been linking to those in my videos, so you can check that out. The garden has been fantastic this year. So much stuff is growing. There's a few things that are growing now that I've never grown before, like dahlias. Berry season was off the hook. Do people still say that? I felt stupid like in the middle of the sentence. It was off the hook. It was off the chain. That happened. Two people said that. Now no one says it anymore. It's got Riz. Bruh. So berry season was crazy good. Blackberry, raspberry. Blackberries happening now. Raspberries already happened, come and gone. I'll have a second batch here a little later in the summer with some of my bushes that produce twice in a year. Strawberries were really good this year. And I made so much of that syrup that I've been promoting on here and telling everyone I know about. The raw fermented syrup, that's like cheong, the Korean syrups. Fruit syrups made by adding a fresh fruit and pure cane sugar in equal amounts by weight in grams to a jar, stirring it every day, letting it sit for a week, and straining it. And that's your fresh syrup. And it gives you the fresh fruit flavor in the syrup instead of a cooked fruit flavor like you get from the cooked syrups, which are much faster to make but don't taste as good. And I'm going totally wild with kefir. Everything I've done this summer, I feel like has been related to kefir. Milk kefir and water kefir, but water kefir especially. I've gotten back into keeping water kefir. I'm really excited about my grains. I've sold a lot of grains. They're reproducing really fast. I have more to share and sell. I have tons of different kinds of soda. Thanks to the syrups that I'm keeping in the fridge, I'm able to just flavor one bottle raspberry, one bottle blackberry, maybe do a black raspberry in one bottle. I've done peach syrup. There's so many different things. I even did a thimbleberry syrup. And for those in Pacific Northwest or maybe other areas that have thimbleberries, you know, those things are impossible to do anything with because by the time they're ripe, they're like jam on the vine. You like pick them and they like squish in your fingers. You got to lick them off your fingers. That's how you eat thimbleberries. And my 4-year-old eats and nobody else gets any. But my husband went out into the forest and he found a patch and brought me back like a fourth of a cup of them. And I did by weight sugar and thimbleberries and made this syrup, and it's made some very interesting sodas that are so unique. No one else has probably ever gotten to try it. So thimbleberry flavored water kefir soda was a hit. But I think our favorite flavor of these syrups is probably raspberry. It's such a strong, fresh raspberry taste. It's just amazing. In the garden now is a lot of squash. There's pumpkins that are starting to develop. It's getting kind of wild. Lots of stuff is dying, and I haven't really done anything out there. You know, just things that have come and gone, and I'm not cleaning up. I'm not replanting. I have a tomato bush loaded with tomatoes that none are red yet. I have a couple kinds of cucumbers, and I've started to make fermented cucumber pickles, which is probably the most important thing to me in the garden. And this year, I'm proud to report in my fermented cucumber pickle jar, the dill, the grape leaf, the garlic, the Pickles are all from our garden. The only thing that's not from our homestead is the salt and the spices. So I'm pretty pleased with that. Next year, maybe I'll have everything. Even I'll save dill seed. Can I grow peppercorn here? I don't know. Maybe I'll never have everything, but this was pretty good. It feels good. We harvested our garlic and there was a lot. I need to clean them up and then I'll be able to do my final count on how many bulbs we got. But I think it's over 100. It'll be plenty for the year for our family and some for gifts. And they're really beautiful heads of garlic. A lot of really big ones. And this was all grown from previous year's garlic, so I didn't have to buy any seed garlic this year. So that makes me feel good as well. I presented a conversation about kefir, which was a small workshop at the Rising Moon Meadows Festival in Bellingham, Washington. There we talked about milk kefir and water kefir. I gave a demonstration and a lot of tastings. We tried vanilla kefir sweetened with maple syrup, milk kefir, and a milk kefir cheese that I did with herbs and garlic. And then we tried a lot of different kinds of sodas. I think I had raspberry, I had a lemongrass and ginger one, which was unique. Tons of different flavors of soda. People were really stoked. A small turnout, but that's okay. I kind of like those because we get to have a better conversation and talk more about question and answer instead of just a lecture. And next up in September in Stanwood, Washington, I have another workshop that's going to be fermentation for food preservation, which I've also offered online before. This is a great workshop for beginners or people that want to advance their fermentation understanding and their understanding of food safety and food preservation. Fermentation for food preservation is just that. It explains how fermentation can preserve food, how to store food long term, and how to know and be confident that you're not poisoning your family. I share how to do it in two methods, of course, dry salt method and the brine method. And it comes with my 30-page booklet with like 10 fermentation recipes of how I do it at home, as well as tons of information. It'll be a hands-on workshop, and this is at the Secret Garden Estate in Stanwood, Washington. So if you want to look at that, you can go to livingwild.me/homesteading, and I'll link to that in the description below. Okay, that's it for today. If you have questions for me, you can leave them in the comments, or always you can send me an email at greenerpostures@pm.me. I hope you didn't miss me too much and that you're having a great summer or winter, depending on where you live. I didn't forget you, Southern Hemisphere, and my Australian friends. You're welcome. That's it for today. I'm Lanni, and this is Preserving Today. Bye-bye.